Pokémon GO was released 4 years ago, yet new players are jumping into the game every single day. Now while I was out raiding a couple days ago, I noticed that several players were not actively using the various tricks that have been ingrained in so many of us who have been playing since the beginning. They were not doing the set circle trick, they weren't throwing curveballs correctly, and unfortunately some of them didn't end up catching the legendary Pokemon. These players, of course, were newer players and had no idea such tricks even existed. Thus, I wanted to make this video, which would serve as a player's guide to every single trick in Pokémon GO that is absolutely essential to know. I've taught players how to do these tricks countless times, and I'm certain some of you probably did as well. But I wanted to compile all of these tricks into one video, so that if you or anyone you raid with is not aware of these, then you can send them this video so that they learn these essential tricks. Okay, so without further ado, let's roll the intro and jump right into it. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count, and in today's video, I am going to be covering every single trick that the most veteran players have been using over the past few years. Every single one of these tricks will allow you to get more Stardust, catch more legendaries, and save precious time and money. Without question, not knowing any of these tricks will prevent you from fully maximizing your play experience in Pokémon GO. Sure, none of these tricks are overly necessary, but not doing any of these tricks regularly could prevent you from being able to catch some of the best Pokemon available in the game. If you want to grow your collection, then you really need to utilize these tricks. So with that said, the first trick I want to go over is probably the most important trick in this video, and that is the set circle trick. This trick was made famous by the YouTuber Prodigy's Nation, and this one trick will vastly improve the rate at which you get powerful raid Pokemon like legendaries and mythicals. If you ignore this one trick, you will barely ever be able to catch legendaries, as their base catch rate is set to an abysmally low 2%. However, the catch rate shoots up a substantial amount depending on your throw, so getting an excellent curveball with a golden raspberry is crucial, as it will increase the rate at which the Pokemon will stay in the ball from 2% to around 24%. And of course, you don't want to waste your golden raspberries with terrible throws. So what the set circle trick allows you to do is get excellent and great curveball throws every single time without fail. So here's how the trick works. First, tap and hold on the phone screen during the catch phase. You should see a circle appear that slowly shrinks. You will want to let go of the screen when the circle is small enough for you to comfortably hit dead center. For newer players, this could be a medium-sized circle that will yield a great throw, but ideally, you will want the circle to be small enough where it is going to be an excellent throw when you hit it. Once you set the circle, make sure you never touch any area of the screen, with the one exception being the berry menu. Otherwise, this circle will shrink again and you will have to set it again. Now wait until the Pokemon does an attack animation. At the tail end of the attack animation, throw your ball towards the center of the Pokemon. If you did the trick correctly, the Pokeball will hit the Pokemon as soon as its attack animation is finished, while the catch circle is at the point where it was set. This trick will allow you to get excellent throws every time without fail. If you mastered curveball throws, it will increase your chance of catching it even further. Couple this trick with golden raspberries and you will have a hard time ever seeing any legendary Pokemon run away. It may take some practice, but if you can get a handle on this trick, you will see the number of legendaries that you catch skyrocket. Now like I mentioned, curveball throws will be essential with this trick, so it will require quite a bit of practice. Fortunately, you can use this trick on any Pokemon and not just raid Pokemon, so practice it to your heart's content with regular spawns before raids. Speaking of curveball throws, that is the second trick that I want to go over in this video. Curveball throwing is a very critical skill to have in Pokémon GO, but not everyone has mastered it. Not only is it a satisfying way to catch Pokemon, but curveballs will actually increase the chance of the Pokemon staying in the ball. On top of that, curveballs give you a little bit more XP, so if you're not yet level 40, you should be curveball throwing every single Pokemon. Now that I talked about the importance of curveball throwing, let's talk about how to actually do a curveball throw. First, you will want to tap and hold the ball with your finger. You should see the catch circle appear over the Pokemon. Next, you will want to spin your finger on the screen in the direction that you are throwing. This means that if you are throwing from the left, you will want to spin the ball clockwise. If you are throwing from the right, spin it counterclockwise. Once you see the ball spinning on screen, you can then throw it and the ball will curve. Of course, your throw is what's going to be different. Since the ball is going to curve out, you don't want to throw it straight up. You will instead want to throw it at an angle. Now that you know how to curveball throw, here's a little tip on how you can land them dead center every time. First pointed out by the YouTuber FLW videos, you can actually manipulate where your ball will go as you curveball it depending on where you throw on the screen and at what angle. Basically, you will want to start from the bottom left if you are left-handed, or bottom right if you are right-handed, and then throw the ball towards the center of the Pokemon. You will want to let go of the ball right when you get to the center of the phone's screen. This will angle the throw directly towards the center of the Pokemon as it curves out. Practice this enough times and you will land curveball throws every single time without fail. Of course, every Pokemon has different distances and catch circles, so you will want to feel it out every time. But the more you practice your curveball throws, the better you will get at them. Moving on to our next important trick, it is the quick catch method. Now the quick catch method is a classic trick that many veteran Pokemon Go players utilize in order to get massive amounts of Stardust and XP. You've probably heard of players catching hundreds of Pokemon per hour during community days, spotlight hours, or special events, while you are barely able to catch 30. Well, the quick catch method is their secret. Catching Pokemon can be absolutely tedious, but this method allows you to catch massive amounts of Pokemon in no time. Rather than sitting there watching the ball wiggle and seeing how much Stardust and experience you got for the 1000th time, you can skip all of this and move on to the next Pokemon almost immediately, while still catching it. This is all thanks to the quick catch method. Okay, so here is how it works. First, you will want to hold down the ball menu icon on the bottom right corner of your screen with your right hand thumb, and drag it towards the center. Do not let go of your screen with your thumb. Then with your other hand, throw the Pokeball at the Pokemon. As soon as the Pokeball hits the Pokemon, immediately let go of the screen with your first hand. You should see the Pokeball selection menu appear on screen over the catch animation. Now if you are on an Android device with the back button, simply hit the back button several times until you are back in the world. If you're on an Apple device or a device without a back button, repeatedly tap the exit button on the top left of the screen. Now when you're back at the world screen, you might still see the Pokemon appear in the real world. To see if you actually caught it, just tap it again. If you see a puff of smoke appear where the Pokemon was, then that means the Pokemon was caught or ran away, and you could jump on to the next one. If you're trying to catch as many Pokemon as possible within a short period of time, I suggest doing this method on every Pokemon on screen, then go back and tap each one on screen again. For any Pokemon that wasn't caught the first time through, simply repeat this process until every Pokemon on screen is caught. This can net you dozens, if not hundreds of Pokemon every 30 minutes, depending on how active your spawns are. If you are more worried about saving time with your catches, then you could speed this up even more by turning on AR on the catch screen. This will take away the animation of the Pokemon appearing before you, which will allow you to shave off even more seconds per catch. Just note that you must have AR Plus turned off in the settings in order to make this work. Alright, so there you have it everyone. These were the most essential tricks for Pokemon Go. Let me know your thoughts down below. How helpful have these tricks been for your gameplay? Were you aware of these tricks? Let me know in the comment section and let's have a great discussion. As always, if you ended up enjoying this video, leave a like and subscribe if it's your first time here. I am Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and I'll catch you all later.